Two of the most common questions painters want to know is, what color is it, and what colors do I mix to get it? What they really should be asking is, how is the colors being affected, and what do I need to consider when I go to mix the color? Potentially, mixing colors can be a complicated subject. This is why I have broken this video down into two separate parts. Here in part 1, I explain what needs to be considered when we actually mix a color. In part 2, I explain how the colors we know are being affected. Having both bits of information should solve much of the mysteries around color and color mixing. So what's color got to do with it? Let's check it out.
We have a liftoff.
Nice to be in orbit.
Painters have a saying that goes like this: paint what you see and not what you think you see. I believe one of the biggest reasons why color mixing can be so challenging is that it has to do with our own minds. Let's take the color of a pine tree as an example. Our minds tell us the needles of a pine tree is a dark green and the tree trunk is a brown. Obviously, each of us have a slightly different view about how these colors should look. That's what makes us different. Your idea of a green and brown color will differ from mine, and that's okay. So why then is there so many questions and frustrations around mixing the right colors? I believe much of the answer to this question lies in the fact that we're not thinking about the color of our light and how much it affects the color as we know it. Let's try a little exercise. For my mixtures, I used 3 primary colors: yellow, red, and blue, plus black and white to keep things simple. Now let's take a look at 2 photographs of a pine tree taken on the same day, but at different times of the day. Clearly, you can see how the green colors of the pine needles and the brown tree trunk have been affected by the color of sunlight. The colors seen in the photographs are quite different from the green and brown we create in our mind's eye, as I have done here. Now let's identify and mix the color of the sunlight you see in photograph 1, then mix the color of sunlight we see in photograph 2. Your mind is probably going to fight you with this by telling you light is just air and air has no color. As a painter, here is where you must make a choice. Don't worry about being exactly right. Just give it your best guess. Adjustments can always be made later. As you know, the color of light changes many times during the day. To further prove this point, let's see how the eye of the camera has captured these changes. The photograph taken earlier in the day shows an intense red-orange color of light. The photograph on the right shows a much cooler light, meaning it has less reds and yellows and oranges in it. Note the most dramatic evidence of colored light is found in the light areas of the tree trunks. This then means the color of light must be reflected in all the colors that we mix. My original green and brown mix is dramatically changed when I add the color of light. Now my pine needle becomes a red-orange rather than a green. When adding the color of light to your mixtures, make sure you maintain the value, the intensity, the saturation, and the temperature of your colors as needed. Adding and reflecting the color of light in all your mixtures will give you the feeling of the day as well as good color harmony in your painting. Whether you are painting outdoors or indoors under different colored light bulbs, paint the colors you see dominated by the color of your light source, not the colors that you think you see. Here's another great tip to help. Determine the color of your light source before you begin your painting. This will help change those old thought patterns and open your mind up to seeing things you may have never noticed before. More about how we see and mix color will be coming. If you want to know when the next color video is posted, please subscribe below, and I will let you know as soon as these videos are posted. and let me know if I'm feeding you the right information by clicking the like button. If you have a painting question you want answered, go to anitahampton.com. Send your request to me through the comment section. Thank you for watching and keep painting.